All right, so I am here today with Naomi Pereira, who's the co-founder and the chicken charge at JobJar. So welcome, Naomi.
Thank you, Lisa. Thank you for having me.
I'm super excited to be telling this story. So let's kick this off. Can you tell us, what is JobJar?
For sure. So JobJar, plain and simple, is a website that connects you with trades and handymen around your area so you can get the small jobs done. So we're talking about installing a lamp or painting a small room. It's always been difficult to find a general contractor that would take on those small jobs. So JobJar is here for you to post a job, get multiple quotes, book and schedule online, and also the payment is processed through the platform.
That makes sense. Very, very cool. And I know that there's a bit of a story about how you got started into this industry. You were in the trades yourself, as far as I understand.
Yes. So I was one of those established contractors in the past, and I would get asked over and over for friends and family and past clients to help them with those small jobs around the house. And even though I did dearly, deep wanted to help, I couldn't take off one of our guys from a big job site for a small job. And so I have also family outside of where we live here, and it was always a management, oh, can I get a plumber? And I didn't know where to find somebody there that could do something small. So I thought, and I love technology. So I said there must be a better way of doing this, and actually it was divine inspiration because it did come in a dream of how I was going to do it, and kind of the why also of what we were doing in this platform. So
that makes total sense. And I know that when you and I had coffee last, we had chatted a little bit about what it was like to really bootstrap a startup and get this thing off the ground. And I'm sure there were tons of challenges. Can you tell us more about how you actually did it, like incrementally?
Sure. So with my previous company, we did a little bootstrapping on that because we were same industry. Basically, the knowledge was there on the problem itself that we were tackling. However, I did not code at all. I did not know how to code. So I needed that huge part of our platform. And I was very lucky that I had family members coming from Venezuela, moving to Canada, and with a wealth of experience and knowledge. And so I pitched the idea, and my co-founder, Rafael, is our CTO. And his background is actually that, developing platforms for the banking industry and healthcare industry for over 20 years. So as I pitched it, he said, this is something I would love to do. I've grown up in a carpentry shop, so I know exactly what, the trades look like, they feel, they go, the pain points. So, and so we ventured together into founding JobJar. And then along the way, finding obviously that we needed resources, more people involved. We're 4 co-founders currently, and expanding our team, I guess.
That's super exciting. And I know that it can be exciting, like an exciting time getting things going, but it's also, it can be hard and there can be real challenges, but it sounds like you've really stick handled that, which is awesome.
Well, yeah, I think the strength on that is having a great team that you can rely on. Not every day is going to be easy. Not every day is going to be fantastic. And if you have a great team that's there for you and you for them, you can make sure that one day at a time is actually a great day that you go through. So, I think it starts with a team for sure.
I agree, and it sounds like there's such a great culture at JobJar that everybody really is focused on value to that end client and how can we really make their life easier, their life better. Sounds like that's a lot of purpose behind this initiative.
Correct. And I know that last time we talked about where our coffee meeting was that the purpose of having a marketplace where people can connect is terrific, but also what is the purpose of this for us is dear to our hearts. So we're all immigrants, and the people that we've identified that take on these small jobs have an immigrant background. Not all of them, but a lot of them out there in the industry. And so there are people that, immigrate from Italy and Poland and all these great skills, and they land in the construction industry without having a lot of guidance. And so the platform that we have facilitates their ability to run a business with us in the back end. So we take care of the accounting, their marketing, their invoicing, scheduling, even giving them tools as to how to establish themselves in the construction industry as a reputable individual. So
that makes sense. That makes a ton of sense. And when you first got started, I'm sure that there's been a few stories that have stuck with you of you're the top 3 successes I've seen through the JobJar platform. Are there, of course, you don't have to name names, but are there kind of, maybe 1 or 2 that you could share with us that you go, wow, I'm so grateful that I got to be part of that?
Yeah, well, inspiration. I find inspiration in all our skill doers, to be honest. We just find that they get more confidence because they might lack the business aspect of how do I even create a form quote, like a formal quote. That's all there set up for them. So it's just as soon as I talk to them on the onboarding, we used to do the onboarding one-on-one, and it got a little bit obviously bigger. So, but just to see their faces and say, oh, nice. Okay. This is what I'm supposed to do. That looks a lot better. That's so organized. At the end of the year now, okay, I can see my report. Where am I doing? I can just, not show up to my accountant with a shoebox full of paper, but I can now download something that's a little bit legible and commit my taxes. And so it's just, I feed of that inspiration as soon as I see their faces light up and say, oh God, this is a solution for us.
Which is so fantastic because it's not only adding value to that end customer that's using the service, but also all of the skilled workers that are providing that service through the platform, which is just so cool.
That's correct. Yeah.
It's awesome. And I understand that there was a particular interview that was, media that really kind of pushed you to get this venture going a little quicker than you had expected.
Yes.
Can you share what it was?
Yes, absolutely. So here in Calgary, Alberta is very oil and gas driven. So when we had we had more than an idea. We already had a concept and kind of a few codes already in the pipeline there. A freelancer came in to our office. She was looking to do an article and something else. And I said, well, sorry, we're not a coffee shop. She was doing that. And, but, we have this idea and this is what we're doing. And it was perfect because in a season that we were kind of all depressed and looking how many layoffs we had, accumulated, we're that hope that you can actually, we're creating entrepreneurial mindset in those individuals that maybe didn't realize they could actually monetize in the skills that they have for small jobs and handyman type jobs, right? So that was great success. From there, we had a media shower. We were interviewed by CBC, CTV, Global, you name it. So that was a fun ride.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I understand that just made things really kind of take off.
Jump started, yeah.
When things jump started, can you tell us, what was that like? I'm sure that although it was amazing and great, probably scary in terms
nerve-wracking.
Of not ready for it.
Absolutely. So we had put together just a very, basic website that we thought, this is going to work for now. And when we had all that media coverage, it just, it's the excitement of you say, okay, great, validated, our concept is there. Oh, this wave can pretty much disappear if we're not quick enough. And so it was trying to manage the resources that we had in terms of people, funds, and time, basically, to make sure that we were building our dream platform as quickly as possible. So yes, a lot of stress, obviously, but it's a good type of stress because you're actually wanting to keep up that hype, right, of what we were building. So
which is great. And I understand as well that you guys were named the most promising startup of 2017 here by the Calgary Chamber.
It's been a fabulous ride. We are very involved with the community, and I think it feels amazing to be recognized for that. So Calgary Chamber have been amazing supporters of us. So we've been finalists for the Innovation Award and the People's Choice Award. And Startup Calgary, we're also in the top 12 promising startups. I mean, it's been just amazing. It's fuel for us. So it just helps us keep going.
Nice. That is super cool and really nice to be recognized for your efforts.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So I also noticed on your website that your team speaks 26 different languages, which is amazing.
Yes.
So I know that you hadn't touched on that many different people coming in, different backgrounds. So I'm sure that's contributing to the different languages, but is there a reason why we've said 26, or is that just, how it's come?
That's how it's been built, I guess. So people would tell us, our doers would tell us what other language beside English they speak. And it's just the count that we have so far of people saying, hey, beside English, I also speak Italian. And what we wanted to do with that is demonstrate the variety, first of all, and multiculturalism that we have, but also to encourage people that do feel more comfortable in their first language to also have a conversation with somebody at their same language. So, that's the idea with that.
Nice. It's really great. All right. So I noticed that on the website that it notes that you're in 280 cities. And I have to admit that when we first started talking, I hadn't realized that it wasn't just Calgary and kind of surrounding communities. That's a pretty big feat to be in that many towns and cities.
Yeah, it's exciting. The power of the internet, you can't stop it, right? And so you can't stop information. So people looking, I guess, for a new way to connect are finding JobJar. And it is cities and surrounding towns that count. So it means that, Cochrane is in there, Canmore is in there, Banff. And then that goes by province as well. So it is a Canada-wide platform, and we're ready for expansion. Yeah.
Which is really, really cool. And another thing that I noticed as well was Tool Connect Meetup that JobJar sponsors. Is that something that you personally started or more organization-wide?
No, yes. I was inspired by, so again, I was looking at the differences between established contractors and these one-man shows, this one-man type operations. Mm-hmm. And what the difference is, I think, for established contractors, they have the knowledge that they need to market, they need to network, connections happen, and you like to work with people that you love. And so I wanted to bring together peoples in the trades for them to know each other and start getting like groups of people that wanted to work together. So that's the idea, in that there is some education component in there, industry updates. So they'll learn about tools, they learn about what's out there that's new, what's a better way to work, and what are the new tools out there that will help them grow their business.
Nice. That's really great. And did you find, because you have so much spare time, you decided to start a meetup group as well. Has it been hard getting a meetup group off the ground?
It's been hard maintaining it. So, like any project, I think you can start with a lot of energy, but you need that persistence, right? In constant touch. So, for us, I have to admit, we have left the meetup a little abandoned, and people are actually starting to say, "Hey, what happened?" But we just pray for more time during the day so we can do more good. But yeah, we do have some activities lined up and some new ideas that we have for that meetup as well.
Awesome. That's really great. And I know it can be so hard as an entrepreneur. We want to continually do good. And so keeping things up can be really difficult. So I appreciate the transparency there. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Another thing too that I wanted to ask about was the Fort Mac rebuild. I've noticed that you guys have done a lot of work to help support people in Fort McMurray, both doers and homeowners. Tell us more about that.
Sure. So it was devastating what happened there, right? And we, in the construction side, knew that Fort Mac just needed to get on their feet and start rebuilding as quick as possible. So with our database, we said, well, what better way to inform our database of initiatives that would be happening in Fort Mac, and because they were going to need a lot of workforce. And so we created basically an icon that would mark the people that were interested in either volunteering or transferring to Fort Mac to help their rebuild. And same with the people in Fort McMurray to look for skilled trades to help them rebuild. Nice.
That's so fantastic.
Yeah.
And I'd love, my last question is really to hear about where is JobJar going? What I'm sure there's lots, but what can you share with us in a short few statements?
Sure.
Plans?
So if we would be, we would love to go to the moon. That's what we would say. But we have our expansion growth strategy into Western Canada being, the first 4 cities that we want to be heavily present in is going to be Winnipeg, Vancouver, and Alberta. And that's Edmonton and Calgary. And so that's what we see in the first, the next year. Okay. And then from there, so that's a shorter type goal. So we're from Venezuela originally, and international markets, our platform is already multilingual, so it is ready to expand internationally as well. So from there, as soon as, we have the next year under our belt, then we can decide from there how aggressively we want to go. Yeah. Super exciting. Well, I'll look forward to us connecting after that first year and finding out where things are sitting with JobJar. Great. Sounds good. Thank you so much, Naomi. Thank you very, very much for your time as well. You bet.